Making UI look good in games is one thing, but making it interactable, it takes a different type of effort. And I personally like animations in the UI. I think they make the UI come to life, like this. And today I'll share my process and I'll dive into the details on how I implement UI animations. And it's super easy. So here's an example of one of the UI widgets in my game. This widget has an activation animation and a deactivation animation. And as you can see, there are quite a few things happening at once, but the animation itself is very simple. And you most certainly could do that with just C#. I just didn't want to do it that way. And the reason I didn't really want to code on my UI animations was because it can be really slow to jump in and out of code every time I wanted to change the look and feel of the UI. Even if you expose the parameters in the inspector, making changes is a slow process through code. So I decided, as with most things in this game, that I would find an easier workflow for me to set up the animations. Anyways, here's the setup. First, I installed a package called Lean Transition. I think you could achieve this with any twinning package, but this package is great and it's free, so I can easily recommend it. Once I have that package installed, I then create a game object in my UI called Animations. Now I know that technically I'm creating more game objects than I really need. So then I create one object for in animations. Those are activations, or when the object appears in the screen, and one for out animations. Then I add the lean manual animation component. Okay, so basic setup ready. All we have to do now is to animate. The lean transition package actually have components for all the types of transitions. Which makes it super simple to animate. You just gotta pick and choose what you wanted to animate in the UI. What I also like in this package is that you can preview the animations without entering game mode, which is super handy. I would just recommend you create your out animation before you start testing, because this preview actually changes the transform and the components of your game objects. So make sure you have some sort of reset before you start testing. Okay, so setup and animations completed. But how do I trigger or call them? Well, in my game, I created this component called base UI element, which contains a few useful functions, such as show and hide, which are called when an object is activated or deactivated. This can be done anywhere in the code. Then I also created Unity events for when those functions are called, which means that I can plug it all from the inspector. And that's pretty much it. Super simple setup, and every time I have to animate anything in the UI is actually pretty fun. And that's something I started to notice about me. The more I code my game, the more I create tools and workflows to code less. Interesting, isn't it? Anyways, thanks for watching, and until next time.